Subscribe to ABN Media Network and become part of our family and learn so many new things.
The story of Chandu. A long time ago, in a village called Carbon, there lived a man named Chandu with his brother. The people of that village were cruel, unjust, and always fighting among themselves. Their main occupation was stealing, and they hated each other deeply, only caring for their own benefit even if it harmed others. Chandu, however, was kind and gentle. He worked hard in the fields every day, while his brother spent his time resting. Still, Chandu remained happy and content with his work. One day, Chandu fell ill. His brother said to him, "Get up, there's a lot of work to do in the fields." Chandu replied, "I'm not feeling well today. I can't go." His brother shouted, "You're just being lazy and making excuses to avoid work." Chandu calmly said, "Brother, I work in the fields every day while you rest. I'm truly sick today. Please go today, and when I recover, I'll take over again." But his brother had become arrogant and heartless from keeping bad company. Instead of caring for Chandu, he got angry and said, "Fine. Take your things and leave this house. There's no place for you here anymore." He divided their belongings unfairly, kept all the land, house, cows, and buffaloes for himself, and gave Chandu only a donkey and a little food grain before throwing him out. Chandu quietly accepted the injustice and left without complaint. He looked back at his home one last time with a sigh, prayed to God, and continued on his way. In those days, villages were miles apart. On the way, Chandu saw a beehive on a tree. He collected some honey, ate a little, and stored the rest in a pot. The honey made him feel better, and his strength returned. By nightfall, he reached a beautiful place surrounded by trees, fruits, and soft green grass. The moonlight spread across the land, making everything glow peacefully. This magical place was known to be visited by fairies. Once, a fairy named Sanam had lost her ring there and was very upset. Nearby, a golden bird lived in a tree with her chicks. The bird asked the fairy, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" The fairy replied, "My name is Sanam. I'm a fairy, and I've lost my ring." The bird helped her find it, and when the ring was recovered, the fairy gave the bird a golden bowl decorated with diamonds and pearls as a gift. She told the bird, "Whenever someone helps you in the future, give them something in return." Then the fairy flew away. The bird hid the golden bowl in the bushes near the tree. Later that night, Chandu arrived at that very tree. He was tired and decided it was a peaceful place to rest. He unloaded his donkey, sat down under the tree, and soon heard the sweet voice of the golden bird. The bird asked, "Who are you?" Chandu replied, "I'm a traveler. My name is Chandu." The bird and her chicks were hungry, so the bird asked, "Do you have anything to eat?" Chandu kindly gave the bird a good amount of grain from his supply, enough for the bird and her chicks to eat for months. The bird was very happy and remembered the fairy's words. She gifted Chandu the golden bowl the fairy had once given her. Chandu was amazed and grateful for such a valuable gift. The bird said, "Whenever someone does good to you, make sure to return kindness." The next morning, Chandu continued his journey and reached a village called Nadiapur. The people there were kind and welcoming. They asked if he was a traveler, and Chandu told them his story. The villagers said, "You can stay here." They helped him build a small mud house. Chandu lived simply, using the grain he had. But he noticed the villagers had no nearby water source and had to fetch it from a distant river. Grateful for their kindness, Chandu decided to help by arranging water for the village. He remembered the golden bowl and sold it in a nearby town to a wealthy merchant for a large amount of money. With that money, he dug a well in the village. The villagers were overjoyed. Chandu also helped the poor by giving them money to buy essentials. With the new well, farming flourished, and the village became prosperous. In gratitude, the villagers made Chandu their chief and always respected his advice. Meanwhile, in Carbon, a great flood struck. Chandu's brother and the other villagers lost their homes, cattle, and crops. The entire village was destroyed. Homeless and starving, they went in search of a safe place. Chandu's brother eventually reached Nadiapur. When the villagers met him, they said, "We'll take you to our chief. He will help you." When Chandu's brother saw that the chief was his own brother, he was shocked and ashamed. He fell at Chandu's feet and begged for forgiveness. Chandu forgave him and said, "Those who are unjust and cruel always face consequences." The people of Carbon suffered because of their oppression. Chandu gave his brother a place to stay in his home. His brother promised never to hurt or wrong anyone again. From that day on, the two brothers lived together peacefully. Moral of the story. We should never keep company with bad people, and we should never be unjust or cruel to others.